Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, back doing a Best of One Brothers War draft. Alright, rare Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. So this is a land that spits out 2/2 bears, and then if you magically end up with Titania, Voice of Gaia, you get a Titania Gaia Incarnate, which is some beastly Vigilance, Reach, Trample, Haste, huge thing. But tough to get the meld things going, and then even if you get both cards, you need to have them both in one game. Pretty tough to do, but this is a land that mills, which is useful in this format, and because you can get like Unearth and whatever stuff for your res effects, so probably at its best in like a black-green deck. And you make bears, so I might just take it, because there's nothing like screaming at me here. Haywire Might is a good card, deals with some pesky things, plus it's a 1-mana 1/1, it's an artifact, and you gain life when it dies. I like all those things. Warlord's Elite, though, maybe that's the pick. This card's pretty incredible, too. But, I don't know, I'm okay with taking Argoth for now. Doesn't take up a slot in the deck, which is relevant, and like I said, on top of that, it spits out creatures, which is pretty relevant, too. Alright, Journey or just Kite. I don't know if I've seen this one. Okay, I have seen this once, in this format, I mean. So, you get lands, you put them in your hand. It's pretty cool, actually. I mean, you can empty your deck of lands, but it's a little bit slow. Go for the Throat, useful removal. I kind of want to be black-green anyway. Overwhelming Remorse, perhaps more synergistic with this, and it exiles. And this deals with less things, but it's much cheaper. I think the Go for the Throat's still probably better than Overwhelming Remorse, because you don't have to have creatures in your graveyard. But remember, there's a lot of things this can't deal with. So there is that, too. I think we're taking one of those. Another Warlord's Elite in here. Argivian Avenger is a good card. I like this card. But I don't like the 2 green cards. They're not that exciting. I would say probably the best card is probably Go for the Throat. Even though, like I said, it probably only hits, you know, maybe 60% of the relevant creatures in the format. Because you gotta let it... Oh, geez, I could have had 3 back-to-back-to-back Warlords Elites, huh? Well, that's too bad. Astral Cornucopia, the rare. I don't think I want that. I mean, I'm not unhappy that I got an awesome removal spell over an awesome creature, but still, 3 Elites would have been a pretty crazy start. Probably taking Ravenous Gigamole here. Otherwise, in green, a couple playable cards. Protection, that's also a combat trick, or Shoot Down, which just randomly deals with things. But Ravenous Gigamole is pretty sweet. This mills, and then you get a creature card milled that way, or you get a 4-mana 3/4, which isn't amazing. But getting a 4-mana 2/3 plus a creature back from your graveyard is actually really good. So I think we'll take the Gigamole, be happy enough about that. Worse than Warlord's Elite, I suppose. But let's just keep with the Go for the Throat and the Argoth plan still. Might not, I mean, we're going to have to pick a color eventually, right? Jeez. Well, this one, you can pick which player you want to mill. So I kind of like Gnawing Vermin actually quite a bit. There's a lot of X1s in this format that are quite good. There's also Gixian Skullflayer and Scrapwork Rager. These are both great cards for us as well. Probably go with the Vermin, though, just because it's a 1-drop that offers some really excellent protection on turn 1. You can kill 2 X1s or kill an X2. The Mill 2 is relevant, especially if we get Unearth or any other stuff like Gixian Skullflayer or whatever, or Unearth. Yeah, so both of these cards benefit from stuff like Gnawing Vermin. Gnawing Vermin is the uncommon of those 3. There's a chance we wield a Skullflayer, too. So, all right, we'll take the Vermin for now. All right, Infiltrator. Good for the Sac deck. We don't really have Sac stuff yet, but that doesn't mean we can't find it. Otherwise, Stalwart for some fixing. We have a Juggernaut, but that's a red Unearth. Best card in the pack. None of it's great. So I might just go with the Infiltrator because it potentially has the Eyes upside if we end up with the Sacrifice deck. So, I mean, we're in the colors for it, I think, so could work out. All right, well, Lauren's a great card. We don't have any artifacts yet, interestingly. Transmogrant Altar actually does want to be in this deck, too. With all the self-mill, this ends up just being a thing that can spit out some 3/3 zombies, which is actually really nice. Kind of underrated this card, or maybe I've just kind of end up cutting it a lot. But I think it's good here. Soul Guide Lantern's good just because it's an artifact that you can draw a card off of. And, you know, sometimes exiling your opponent's graveyard is relevant too, especially if they're playing a bunch of Unearth. But we'll take Transmogre and Altar and be happy about that. Okay, here we can take another Infiltrator. You know, Hostile Negotiations is a good card. The problem with it is paying 3 life is difficult. It is an instant that nets you some card advantage. It's more self-mill, though, too. You have to be careful of that. I might just take the Infiltrator. This card is good in the right deck. If we don't end up with any sack stuff, it's not that great. Oh, wait. Transmogre and Altar didn't quite do it. It does synergize well with the Infiltrator, but it doesn't synergize well with Self-Mill. I think I confused this with something else. No biggie. Alright, here, probably just take the Gruesome Realization. I never take this card, but at this point we've got to be black. Because we already have 5 cards in that, so I think we're going to take that. Trench Stalker, if you have card draw, is probably pretty good, but no, we'll take the Realization. Wow, well, we've got a couple pretty excellent options here. Haywire Might, which gives us the sack synergy with Infiltrators, also a 1-drop that can deal with, you know, pesky artifacts and enchantments. Not any, but non-creature ones. Or we could take the Emergency Weld, which is an amazing card with both a sack deck, because it gives you sack fodder, and good with self-mill because it lets you get stuff back. That's tough. I think I might actually take the Might just because it's got built-in sack and it's an uncommon. And I found it to just be useful, but Emergency Weld is amazing too. Dreams of Steel and Oil, I don't particularly like this card. We could take the Journeyer's Kite. It's very clunky and slow, but technically some card advantage and deck thinning, so probably acceptable. Acceptable, not great. Could take the Intervention here. Lets you, if you have Into the Battlefield effects, it's probably at its best, so it's actually pretty awesome with Gnawing Vermin. And good with Gigamole. Alright, we'll take it. Alright, as hoped, we got a Rager back. Excellent with Self-Mill, and good with sack. Unearth is good with sack. Outlets too, because you can still sack the Unearth creature. It doesn't go to your graveyard, it's exiled, but still, it counts as a sack for the Infiltrator purposes. Alright, I guess we just cut the green card, the Harvest. Killzone Acrobat, technically a way to sack stuff. Not an amazing card, but it is a way to sack things, so we'll take it. We only have 1 green card, so I don't know if green is actually going to work out. Alright, Pallbearer is probably at its best in this archetype, I would say, because we already have, what, Argoth, if we can play green. We had some other self-mill too, right? The Gigamole. Was that all we had for self-mill? Oh, and Gnawing Vermin. All right, you know, might have enough to make Pallbearer pretty useful. It's also a 5/5 trample, not to be overlooked. Otherwise, we take Blast Zone. It doesn't take up a slot in the deck, and it does actually deal with things in this format, which is nice. But I think I actually want the Pallbearer. There's a chance we wheel it, but this is kind of an important card for our deck. We really don't even have a finisher yet, and this is like the best finisher you can have if we have some self-mill. But like I said, we may not even be green. Kind of contingent on getting some green out of this pack, I think, to really make green work out. I guess Haywire Might is technically a green card too, so I'll keep that in mind. You know, I haven't played Gruesome Realization. This card might actually be okay, because there's a lot of X1s that are just really pesky in this format. Epic Confrontation, some removal. Butcher is probably at its best. I mean, this is at its best in this archetype, where you have a bunch of creatures in your graveyard, and all of a sudden you can just start tapping and making your opponent lose 2 life. Sword of the Meek is actually pretty cool. I think, how many? We have a couple 1/1s. And if you self-mill it, it comes back from your graveyard to the battlefield attached, but we only have a couple 1/1s. So a lot of times it's going to be just a kind of weird equipment. So maybe we just take the Butcher here, because I think it's good with this deck. Evolving Wilds is excellent with Infiltrator. It's a free way to sack and get a counter, but I'm going to just take the Butcher because I never get to play this card when I'm in the archetype. I would like the removal too, because we don't have that much, but I'm going to take the Butcher because it's an uncommon. You don't get to see it that much, and it's actually pretty strong. Alright, well, Queen Kayla is good, but we're probably taking Mask of the Jadecrafter over our 3rd Infiltrator here, because I actually like this card, and it sacks potentially twice with the Unearth. So it works well with Infiltrator. You might get Infiltrator back. And I think it's actually just a good card. It's a nice little mana sink. Put 1 billion mana into it, and all of a sudden you got a big win con, so that's pretty good. Here, could take the third Infiltrator. If we get enough sack outlets, I think that's totally doable because we already have what might. We have the mass that's 2. We have 3, technically 4. So we have 4 sack outlets already. Not bad. Otherwise, Guy's Gift combat trick, since our removal count is pretty low, right? We just have the Go for the Throat and then Ashnod's Intervention combat trick. Gruesome Realization could end up playing too as a removal. Potentially good. Depends on the deck. A third Infiltrator. I might just do it. Actually, maybe I should have taken Mishra's Bauble there. It's a free sack outlet. I didn't think about that, but yeah, that might have been better. Burnished Heart's also a sack outlet and a ramp, but here I might just take Evolving Wilds. Now that we have 3 Infiltrators, Evolving Wilds is like basically a buff spell that fixes our mana base, so that's got to be the pick here. Even over Heart, because it doesn't take up a slot in the deck, and like I said, free pump on 3 creatures in your deck is... Free permanent pump on 3 creatures in your deck is really good. So, could take another Intervention. Could take the Retrieval Unit. This card's really only... I mean, do I have a way to sack the Power Stone tokens? Then I could see maybe, but I don't think we do. Yeah. Oh, this lets you sack an artifact. All right. Technically works with Acrobat. This doesn't work with Altar, though. Guess I'll take another Intervention. I'm just taking this in case we really need combat. If we're really short on removal and combat tricks, it's nice to have. All right. Boulder Branch Golem is great. Prototype in general is excellent, and whether you're paying 4 mana for a 3/3 gain 3 or 7 mana for a 6/5 gain 6, you're pretty happy generally with this card. It's a way to prolong matches. All right, Clay Revenant, one of the best cards for this archetype. If we need, like, I mean, we do have the sack outlets for it, so it's going to work just fine. We already have the Altar, so you can get it back with that. It's, you know, it's a little clunky, but whatever. It's an engine. It's an engine that works if you get to the grindy point in the game, and it works with Acrobat technically too. And it's a 1-drop, so definitely the correct pick for this deck. All right, we got Blast Zone back. I'm kind of okay with that, actually. I don't hate Blast Zone. We're only a 2-color deck. We're primarily black. This is a removal spell. It's clunky, yes, but it can do things. It certainly can do things. All right, Suchi Cave Guard, kind of expensive since we have no ramp. Locust here is totally fine. I like Locust. Comes in, exiles something, makes him lose life. You get a Flying Beater. So we can take the 4th Infiltrator or another Locust. We still have a pack to find more sack outlets, so I think I'll take Infiltrator and hope that we can somehow bring this whole thing together. We're on like the cusp of a good deck. We're just not quite there yet. So I could take Junkyard Genius and hope to be able to splash it with like Evolving Wilds. I mean, this card is really strong. It's certainly stronger than a supply drop, so it might be just worth it. I mean, we want to sack, and you get the built-in sack outlet too. So, all right, whatever, take a Retrieval. I guess I could have taken the Perimeter. That's true. Perimeter Patrol's 3 mana, 3/3. I don't think it makes the deck anyway, but we'll cut green. Not going to play the Drake. All right, we're on to the last pack. We don't need to Kaja. We've got a lot of creature spells, so we don't want Thorn of Amethyst. I don't mind taking another Ravenous Gigamole. It's self-mill, and you get a creature back. It's just nice. It's useful. And there's not much else for us here. Like, we can't even really hope to wheel something, unfortunately. Maybe a supply drop is probably what we're going to wheel and take. But Gigamole's like the only kind of clear pick for us here. I mean, thankfully it's a good pick. But, all right, Ichor Wellspring, this is kind of at its best here. What's all the sack outlets that we have for... I mean, technically it works with Might. Not really excellently, though. But... I mean, if you have enough ways to sack it, it's really good. Because it comes in and draws, and then you sack it and you draw another one. So it does work with Killzone Acrobat, right? Yeah, it does. Cohort's pretty excellent. Even if you can't unearth it, you get a couple bodies out of it, which is nice. Skull Flare, I mean, it's definitely good here. Because we're hopefully getting stuff in our deck, or in our graveyard, rather. Maybe just take the Skull Flare, because we've got graveyard shenanigans. Hopefully get the Wellspring back. I mean, this card's not amazing, but I mean, if it's getting bigger every turn, it can turn into a win con. It's pretty slow, I guess, but All right, Mishra. I guess if we're already splashing for Scrapyard Genius, it's something we could do. Thraxodemon is the card I think we want here because it's a way to sack. It's an engine with Clay Revenant. That's come up at least a couple times for me in draft and been really excellent. Blanchwood Prowler would be a great card to wheel. We'll see if we get lucky enough, but I want the Thraxodemon. It's got just built-in synergy with the Infiltrators. So another Thraxodemon. Urza's Command in blue is very good. Another chance to get Ichor Wellspring. This has some really nice synergy with the Thraxodemon. Do we want 2 demons, or do we want more things to sack, like Ichor Wellspring? It's a good question. There's also a Skullflayer in here. I mean, this comes in and replaces itself too, which is nice. But I really would like to have 2 demons in here. This is really nice. I mean, you can do this anytime, so it just automatically like makes your opponent's removal spells for your other dudes much worse if you have the open mana. Another elite. We're gonna take Disfigure and pretty happy about it. Just, you know, cheap removal. Buy some time. Guys, Courser, here we go. Here's a nice payoff for the deck. Man, Power Stone Fracture in here too. That's a tough one. We already have 19 creatures. Man, I think Courser's pretty excellent though. But that is tough because we could use some more removal. And you can sack artifacts to it too. I guess I'm taking the removal. I really want the Courser to be honest, but we've got enough creatures already, so I guess it makes sense. All right, now it's Rager, Acrobat, or Disfigure. I guess we take another Disfigure. It's very useful to have, and it's a combat trick that's also, it can deal with certain things, and it's also a combat trick sometimes, so that's nice. Caress actually is more useful than I originally gave it credit for. Corrupt, I mean, we're primarily black, but I guess if I'm paying like 6 mana and dealing 3 damage and gaining 3 to something, maybe it's still playable. I don't think it's great, but it's probably playable here. Supply drop, I said I'd probably take it if it comes back, so we can take it. Combat trick, it does sack, so that is something. Goring Warplow is very good, actually. I'll take it. Over a Giant Growth, I think that's fine. I like both sides of this quite a bit. All right, we got the Prowler back. That's nice. It's another 2-drop that self-mills, and it gets you land, and it's a body to sacrifice. Probably better than a 3rd Gigamole, I would think. All right, another Skullflayer is probably more exciting than the Recluse, I guess. It gives us something to do with our graveyard. So I think this deck is actually okay. Wow, we got Courser second. That's a lucky second to last pick, and a last pick playable card for the deck too. So that worked out pretty nicely. We'll see what we're gonna do here. So I don't, because we have a billion creatures here now, so we certainly don't need to play all these creatures. So we can get rid of our worst ones. We can get rid of interventions, even though they're not creatures. We don't need them because we've got the Disfigures instead. We have the Go for the Throat and the Fracture, so we're good. Kind of good on removal front. I think I'm going to get off the Kite plan. The Junkyard Genius thing is cute, but we probably don't need it. This is technically sack thing. I might dump Locust, even though it flies and it's useful. We'll probably go for more of a pure synergy deck because we have all of these things that sacrifice and self-mill and stuff, so would really like to take advantage of that. We still have to make a lot of cuts here. 8 cuts, and 7 of them could be creatures. All right, well, let's get rid of our worst creatures. So our worst creatures might actually be the Acrobats. These cards are deceptively not good. Like, you'd think it's good because it just sacks stuff, but turns out a lot of times you want to get more benefit out of your sack than just making a dude be able to fly and pumping an Infiltrator. Might not even play 4 Infiltrators because our sack outlets are what, like 2 Thraxodemons, Mask, Power Stone Fracture, Altar, which I think we will stick with the Altar. I think. Do we want the Realization? This is probably a better sideboard card, but we're doing best of 1. I could probably play Realization over Supply Drop, but this has the built-in sack. So maybe the synergy is actually better here than the Realization. Might be correct. Are we on the Corrupt plan? I don't know. Maybe I'm supposed to be just cutting creatures here, so let's take a closer look at what creatures deserve to be cut. Once again, maybe we don't need 4 Infiltrators. We can at least go to 3 on that, and maybe 2. I want to keep the War Plow because it's got double duty usefulness. I think I want to keep the Prowler too. We can play more than 15 creatures. It's nice to have more tools to use. I want both of my finishers. I want the Courser. I want the Gigamals. I want the Rager. So all of our top end we're keeping. I want the Butcher. Maybe the Skull Flayers. They're not amazing. They just happen to be useful in this deck, but they grow kind of slowly. But, I mean, at the same time, we have to find cuts here. So maybe we cut one more Infiltrator. We'll cut one Skull Flayer. Jeez. 17 creatures, so I need 3 more cuts. If I cut Realization and Supply Drop, that leaves me with what? 2 Disfigures, go for the Throat Fracture. That's 4 removal spells and a Corrupt. Or I cut Realization, Supply Drop, and Corrupt, and I'm left with 4 removal spells. I mean, that's not highly desirable. Corrupt can also kill your opponent in the late game, which is kind of useful. And it gains life. I might keep that around. Maybe I'll cut the Realization and the Supply Drop, and then we'll cut one more creature, which is maybe the Blanchwood Prowler, even though I like it, and it self-mills. We do have a lot of self-mill in here. We have 2 Gigamoles and the Argoth. I mean, you can't have infinite self-mill and hope to get there either, because this also self-mills. Yeah, I guess we'll cut a Prowler. Yeah, this was a tough deck to make. We had just a lot of goodies to tool around with, but we've got good finishers. Pallbearer, Golem, we've got the Mask of the Jadecrafter, Warplow, Courser, ways to get them back. Butcher is a good finisher. We can spit out 3/3s. Although, what are we sacking to alter, I guess, is the real question. Because we can only sack creatures, so Revenant's an infinite combo with it. We could sack a Berman with it, and that's actually pretty useful. Otherwise, we can just sack... Yeah, to be honest, we don't have a ton of other tools to sack, but I think we still do it. So, 6 green sources. We need double green to be able to activate Argoth. That's a little awkward. We don't have any double black in here, and we do have double green. So I might just actually go down... but we want the Corrupt to be good, too. Wow, that's actually... It's tough. Yeah, I guess, 7 green sources is probably fine, but we need to be able to activate this with 6 green sources. That could be a bit tricky. A little bit awkward with the Corrupt, but I think we'll probably stick with the mana base, I say. I'm going to keep the Blast Zone around. I still think this could be useful, even though it's a little bit slow. All right, I guess we're running it like this, so we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right, got a good hand here. I like this. Turn 2 Thraxodemon, turn 3 Altar, and then I guess figure it out from there. There's a Corrupt with 2 Forests in our hand. I mean, this either kills something or kills your opponent, I guess, so it's probably a better card to draw as like the last card in your deck, but that's alright. No biggie. Uh-oh. 3 Forests, huh? That's alright. Alright. So, we have enough... Well, we don't have enough to do Warplow yet. I could make the Warplow at 3/3 and get a creature in their graveyard. How do I feel about that? It's not great, it's not terrible. It gives us an attacker and a 3rd Path Savant, and it gives us a creature in our graveyard. Otherwise, I'm kind of just waiting 2 turns to be able to play this as a 5/4 Death Touch. 5/4 Death Touch definitely more appealing than a 3/3, but... Do I want to go on the offensive here, or am I in kind of chill-out mode? I feel like I'm in chill-out mode, so... Although, then they're going to be able to attack with the Savant, maybe, too? Huh. That's interesting dilemma. I guess I'll go for this play, then. So it gets a creature in our graveyard. It gives us a 3/3. It's not amazing, but... It's not terrible either. Basically, we played a Hill Giant, We converted a card in our hand into a hill giant. Sure. So technically we have corrupt for that Latinam adept. So it could turn Thraxodemon into another 3/3, but that's probably fine actually. Because we have Fracture, which we can actually sack the altar. Next turn we can corrupt as well. Sure. Makes sense. Alright, Skull Flare. So here I think we fracture the adept, sack the altar. Get in for 3 or 6 rather. And then we'll play Skull Flare. And we have Corrupt, so we can kill the Savant before they get 7 mana online. Which isn't great. Not great, not terrible either, but whatever. It's something. Alright, that gives us a 4th Swamp. See if they have Koilos Rock, maybe? Alright. So they're going to eat our Skull Flare, unfortunately. Even with all those sacks, I couldn't get 3 creatures in my graveyard. It's alright. Sure. Alright. So Pallbearer now would give +3/+3. We have Golem, which would be a big one. Ooh, that's a good one. Hey, we got the Pallbearer. That's good. So we'll get in for 6 here. See if they have the Lauren's Escape, would be my guess. No? Alright, well that's good. It's a good one. Not good against Trample, however. They have a Rest or something for that. Let's see. Or Subjugation. Plenty of removal spells. How much does this cost, though? 5? Okay. Alright. Self-milling. Hey, Jade. Hey, that's good. You get to use that. Haywire Might, too. And we can blow up a Keening Stone with it? Wow. That's nice. Alright. Well, let's get in, see what they have. Blocking Pallbearer doesn't... They'd rather do that than trade. That's interesting. Alright. So we've got 14 cards in our graveyard, so let's just do the Haywire Might and blow up the Keening Stone, because that just completely eliminates that plan that they want to take advantage of here, so we'll blow that up. And I could unearth this and get a 3/3. I think it's worth it when they're at 7. That's a good sign. Means they're not going to be able to play a huge fatty this turn. Yeah, they're going to be able to go to 1 life, I guess. Prison Sentence isn't even a card that should be great against us because we have actual sack outlets. Ooh, that was a great draw. I don't think we have a way to get Corrupt back. We have our own Boulder Branch Golem, too. Ooh, multiple third path savants, no kidding. What is it? +1/+1 for each land you control. Alright. Gigamole, let's do that. See if we get a creature here. Hopefully. Alright, that's a good one. Do a second one. Alright, so play an Infiltrator. We'll go land Infiltrator. We have 5 attackers now for next turn. That's pretty good. Certainly not bad when they're at 7. Seven cards left in our deck. Okay. Alright. Another blocker makes sense. So we'll do Rager here. Draw. Vermin. We've only got 5 cards left, so we'll probably have to mill them for 2. So attack with everything. They block my 3 biggest. They only take 4, and they kill. So they kill a 3/3. They block a 3/3, or they could take 5. Let's see. Tower Worker is going to block 2/1. Maybe Third Path Savant blocks 2/3. So then they take 5 and they kill a 3/3. That might just be worth it. Oh, that's too bad. So now they take 2 and they're able to kill 2 of our guys. Okay. Well, that worked out pretty well for them. Uh-oh. Gave him ammo there, too. Well, they could have gotten Warplow back, I guess. Kind of surprised they didn't. Well, next thing you know... Now I don't even want to draw cards anymore, unfortunately. And I guess not having any flyers is... This is where it's costing us. Just not able to put down the beats, I think, unfortunately. If we had a way to get the pallbearers back now, it could be a possibility, but I think we're too far gone on that front. Now, of course, there's cool. It's just don't have enough. They have too many creatures. They drew too many consecutive creatures there for us to keep up. Do we have disfigures left? Nope. I don't know what our last 2 cards are. I could literally go through the graveyard and look, but whatever, we'll just be surprised. Hey, there's our Boulder Branch Golem. I mean, it's nice. It's just not good enough to win the game here. I think the disenchant did us in there. So I can't even afford to draw a card with Thraxodemon because we only have 1 card left. Ooh, another one. Nice one. Well, that's GG's. Thought we got there, actually. It's kind of a back and forth game. All right, let's see for the next one. All right, we'll go first. We'll keep. All right, Thraxodemon down. Could kill that. I guess I don't really need to. I'm going to play a turn 4 Boulder Branch Golem, so we can chill on the go for the throat. And just do like a Mask of the Jade Crafter instead. And next turn, I guess I can do a 4/4 instead of the Boulder Branch Golem. Argoth. I don't control a legendary green creature, so why don't we just play Swamp and make ourselves a little 4/4 here? I'm okay with that. I mean, turn 4 4/4, and we'll be able to get Mask back later. Seems fine to me. Could still do Boulder Branch Golem next turn. Depends. Ooh. Well, I guess we can't go for the throat that, can we? Oh, that's interesting. They kept Chromatic Star back. Wasn't expecting that. So we can do Infiltrator here and still leave up go for the throat. So why don't we just smash for 4? That's fine. Draw 2 cards off of that because of the Mightstone's animation too. It's pretty sweet synergy. Let's play Argoth and then play Infiltrator. And I guess we can't even leave up Thraxodemon. I could have if I didn't play Argoth. Maybe I should have done that. Alright, Trinstalker. At least I can go for the throat that. That's nice. We'll do so. Just take care of that threat. Seems good. So we can use Argoth, or we can get a 3/3 with Mask of the Jade Crafter. Plus we get Infiltrator pumped. And then next turn I can do Boulder Branch Golem. I'm kind of okay with that. Sure. Ooh. Nice one. Alright, so they know about the forest. We can do Argoth. Maybe we'll just attack for 3. We can still make Infiltrator bigger with Thraxidemon, so it's probably worth it. Because I think at this point they probably want to block with Evangel on the Infiltrator, maybe. Maybe not. Sure. Sensible. Sensible play. They attack with Evangel, yeah. I was wondering too if I was actually going to block there. Let's play Rager here. Draw. Ah, Disfigure. That's pretty nice actually. So, yeah, that's actually really nice. We're going to sack the bear anyway, I guess, so it doesn't matter too much. Alright, so let's sack bear. And then we'll disfigure the Evangel, I guess. Another Trench Stalker, nice one. Oh, they'd rather have the 3/4. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Ooh, nice. Alright, so we have the altar. So let's play Vermin. Let's play altar. We'll self-mill, I guess. I think we've still got maybe some unearth, I'm not sure. So I can convert Vermin into a 3/3, or I can just hold up on Thraxidemon for now and potentially generate some card advantage. That might be the best. Sac-rilege. You draw cards out on that? How's that work? Tap an untapped card. Oh, you get to draw. That's nice synergy. With the Refractor, no less, too. Pretty sexy. Alright, so we probably double block with these two. Oh, no, we can't do that because they could deal all the damage to the 3/3. So we'll just block like this. That's fine. And then if they have something, we'll just sack whatever we have to sack. I'm kind of okay with that. I forget, why did that have Death Touch? Oh yeah, it's got Death Touch and Lifelink. I'm still kind of okay with that. So we don't need to sack the Vermin. Haywire Might. This can blow up fixing. We don't really need that. That can only sack creatures. So we'll do the Rager to draw, sack it to the altar. Gigamol's good. We're still going to take advantage of our altar while we can here, so sack that. And then we'll play a Might and leave up Argoth here. What's the ultimate on this? Oh, just pump artifacts and stuff. Well, that's still beatable. We've got 16 cards left. Milled 2 of our nice take advantage of creatures in our graveyard cards, but that's alright. Guess the question is, would you rather have a 3/3 or an extra card in hand? Probably a 3/3 at this point. Even though they can't attack into the Gigamole, we have some removal in here too. That's true. I'm actually going to be able to attack with the 3/3 because I have the Gnawing Vermin that I can sacrifice to Thraxodemon. So that works out okay. So they get to draw cards here. That's pretty good. Sac-rilege's pretty sweet. And the nice thing is, Energy Refractor tap doesn't even set them back at all. They still can use it to convert their mana. So Haywire Might is still useful to have against Weak Stone Subjugation. So that's helpful. So now I can't attack because they have the fatty. I guess we're going to lose our Gigamole, unfortunately. Nothing to be done about that. So we'll untap here. Another Thraxodemon. So let's see. We can do Thraxodemon and sack Thraxodemon. To get a 3/3. And then leave up our other Thraxodemon for instant speed sack, I guess, if we need it. I don't think we need 2 Thraxodemons. So now if they attack with Depth Charge Colossus, unfortunately I think Sac-rilege's just kind of getting us. Not much I can do about it. Blast Zone, well, that's not bad. 6 drop, 5 drop. These are 0 drops. 4, 5, 6, unfortunately. That doesn't help. But I can put, I guess, a few counters on Blast Zone and take out the Depth Charge Colossus at least, but that's gonna take some time. Can't really use the altar effectively here either. Let's see, I can put 1, 2, 3, 4. I put 4 counters on Blast Zone. That only does 5, but might be worth it. Well, they only have 8 cards left in their deck. I might be able to just survive this if I hold out long enough. Might be wishful thinking. We'll see. So now we're probably just sacking the Gnawing Vermin to kill the X1s or whatever. So I could sack the 3/3 in response. I guess at this point, I probably sack that, because then I can block the Trench Stalker. If I want. Oh, Corrupt. Well, that's nice. Can I kill Sac-rilege with it? Oh, good. That's good. So I'll kill Sac-rilege. I guess at this point we're going to try and outlast them, if we can. What happens with this? So we're going to kill the... I think we're killing the X1 flyers here, probably. We have Corrupt, so we're going to be able to gain some life. We clearly block this. And we're trying to... Remember, we're trying to win through the late game here, so... Maybe I just block the Stalker to prevent damage. And then sack the Might to blow up a Power Stone token, I guess. I don't love it, but... Prevents 4 damage. Seems kind of useful. Yeah, and we still have Argoth, I guess, to make 2/2s for more protection, although... I don't know if we're gonna... I don't know if we're gonna outlast our opponent's deck at that point. Alright, let's just blow up a Power Stone token, I guess. And then Vermin will kill a flyer. And then Corrupt. Do we want to kill Sac-rilege, or do I need to kill like a Stalker? To be honest, I'm not 100% on that. Wonder if I need to kill the Stalker. Unfortunately. We'll put 2 counters on it. That takes us to 3. I mean, I guess, yeah, Blast Zone can take it out too at some point. Ooh, Courser, that's a nice one. So we have 4, 7, 9 mana. So we don't have enough to do both of these. Courser, though, at least can block Stalker. There's 7 cards left, though. I mean, I can kill Sac-rilege. Gain some life. It's a tough spot. I only have 4, so I can't kill either of their dudes anyway. I kind of feel like we probably still need to kill Sac-rilege, unfortunately. Not ideal. And then I guess we hang out and probably block Colossus and draw off Thraxodemon with it. Take some damage. Take too much damage. I mean, I think if I could have killed Trench Stalker with Corrupt, I would have. I guess I could also double block Trench Stalker. If they don't have a way to... Oh, they did just draw a card. Well, that's not going to work then. Oh, well, at least they're down to 3 cards in their deck. So if I... Now I guess... I mean, if I can hold out them, I can get there if I can hold out long enough. But I'm taking, what, 7, 8 here? That's a lot. Could also just... I mean, I can double block the Trench Stalker and take it out now. Or if they attack with Gigamole, I can double block that. That's not bad either. But if I block Trench Stalker, I lose both of my guys. But then I can drop Courser I still need to figure out something for the Colossus, though, unfortunately. But I can put another thing on the Blast Zone, too. Because I'm going to lose both of those dudes, huh? Well, I don't know if I can afford to take this, so we'll probably just trade. Can I sack? So I can sack Alter, at least, and draw a card. I probably need to do that. 3 cards left. All right. We'll sack the Alter and draw. Okay. Okay. So now, I mean, at this point, what do we have? 10 cards. So we do Courser plus Argoth, probably. Because I can't put enough tokens on Blast Zone anyway. This at least gives us like a chump block. Oof. Ugly. Just lose 3 amazing cards I really wanted to draw. It's alright. What are you going to do? Well, at least I could double block a Depth Charge Colossus, assuming they have nothing. That's true. Well, if I can survive a turn, I don't lose. Unless they have Keeper of the Cadence, then I guess they deserve it. But I don't appear like I'm gonna die here. Wow, I don't know why they did that. But hey, we'll take it. I think if they just slowed the roll on the draws, they could have gotten us. We'll see for the next one. Oh yeah, it's a keep. Disfigure, we finally get to play Butcher. I hope I get to activate Butcher. That's the real test of Butcher. Happy to see Corrupt has done something. Wow. Best Disfigure of all time? I think so. My goodness. Alright. Alright, well, build towards that Corrupt, I suppose. Savant. It's a good card. Takes a little while to build up, but pretty useful when you get there. So next turn we got a nice little Courser going. I like it. Boundary. I haven't even seen, surprisingly, I haven't seen this card in this format yet. Ooh, that's pretty shocking, actually. I'll leave it on top. I mean, based on this hand, we can do Courser next turn and still replay Butcher. I'm alright with it. Holds us off on a Pallbearer and a Corrupt for now, but it's probably okay. I don't necessarily want to lose it. Getting a Courser down is going to be presumably useful. I'm also just a mana away from, like I said, Pallbearer and a Corrupt, so if they're going for draw 2, third path Savant, slow plan, yeah, now at least I can just Corrupt the... Because they're still 2 lands away from Savant now, so... I probably just play Pallbearer as a big fat fatty. I think that's going to be the best play here. They have Koilos Rock or what? No? Well, I'm going to play a 5/5 then. Five Trample, mind you. Just got a grip full of spells, really, that you can't play? This is surprising. Alright, sure. They still are 2 lands away, so I'm not really tempted to do the Corrupt yet. Let's get the Butcher down. Statue, sure. Oh, really? Okay. I mean, I don't have anything to sack, so I don't really care about that. So I can go for the throat, but I don't really think we need to. We're untapping next turn. They're still 2 lands away from third path Savant. We can use Butcher. Paying that full 5 mana. I'll take it though. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they're in big trouble now. Are they actually dead? 5, 9, 10. Corrupt, yeah. Because they can't activate this, right? No. Alright, well. Got there. See you for the next one. Yeah, we got a good keep here. We don't need to do the turn 1 Haywire Might, so why don't we just do... Although we could. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Let's do Might into Infiltrator. It does mean we'll have a turn 3 tap land, but based on this hand, that doesn't matter. Get the damage in while we can. And then we can do turn 3 Argoth, turn 4 Boulder Branch. Not bad. Dissident, that's a good one. Great card. I'm going to disfigure that, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with Dissident. That card's really good. So, a nice thing about Haywire Might, it's a way to deal with prison sentence. Yeah. Sure. This can be untapped and do it too, so I think we're still probably just playing Boulder Branch Golem this turn, so we'll just get in for 1. And when I do blow up the prison sentence, I'll end up with a 3/2 attacker. I could have done that this turn, but then I feel like I wouldn't have done anything else. So that's not that amazing to me. Oh man, my opponent is falling behind here. Next turn we sack the Might, blow up the prison sentence, get in for 10. Sure, well, change of plans now. Now we'll just sack the Might to blow up the prison sentence on the Courser. They can keep their Journeyer's Kite. I'm alright with that. So we'll bash for 7. And then we even have the sack outlet with the Infiltrator to blow up whatever big fat fatty they need a block here with. Alright, see you for the next one. Alright, it's a keep. Got a couple Infiltrators. Oh yeah, this sacks too, that's nice. Just make sure I don't sack at 2, right? Yeah, I like this research desk. I haven't played with it, I feel like, but I've played against it, and every time I play against it, I'm pretty impressed. Rock Hunter. Alright. Well, we're probably gonna trade with an Infiltrator if they let us. Sure. Alright. So, guess I could do Blast Zone. I'd take 6, and then I'd have to blow up Blast Zone. let's see. I'd have to blow up Blast Zone next turn. So I play Blast Zone, I put a counter on it. They'd attack for 6. I mean, it'd be a good use of... I'd be a little bit further behind on mana, though. I don't know if I love that. Let's just do Infiltrator and trade. We'll do it a different way here. We'll save Blast Zone for something I can't deal with. I'm actually going to block the Harvester here, because unfortunately, losing cards out of our graveyard is pretty good. Cohort, alright. Alright, well, all these swamps eventually could be useful. Alright, Courser's good next turn. Then I got a solid blocker. Well, we've got a blocker for that, and they don't have any cards left in hand. That's a good sign. Plus, we have Corrupt, which we can play next turn. That's nice. What do we get? Hero of the Dunes. Jeez. With the mana, too? Look at that. Beautiful. Nice value. So we'll block Cohort and take 7. So we'll do this. We'll play the Corrupt. Guess we kill Hero. Back to 10 and then pass. Not dead yet. Not looking great either, though. So this, I can at least make a 4/4, 5/5 with the Blast Zone. It's a pretty good blocker. Got a couple unearthed dudes, though. Jeez. Yeah, I mean, we go to 1 here. It's pretty nuts. So we need, wait, I died? Wow, nice one. See you for the next one. Alright, it's a good keep. Do some self-milling with the vermin. Hopefully get some ammo going for this Skull Flare. Nope. 2 cards I really would have liked to draw there. Well, at least we got a green mana. That's good. Can blow up a Springleaf Drum if I really want to. Don't especially want to, though. Anointer. Anointer's pretty good. Let's see. I don't really want to use Power Stone Fracture on an Anointer, I don't think. How does it get bigger? Oh, they draw cards and it gets bigger? I'm probably just going to wait on that. Power 2 or less. Well, suppose we blow this up to save our Infiltrator. Alright, Well, lost a lot of goodies with that one, unfortunately. Guess we wait. I don't need to fracture Anointer just yet. Although I guess if they are able to self-mill, might be beneficial. Iron Cockroach, is it? Mana value less than. Alright, well... Mana value on that's higher, so that worked out okay. Oh, bummer. Nothing else to sack, unfortunately. Nice one. Just getting Moment of Defiance to death while I'm just ripping lands, huh? Whoopsie. Nice. Just getting clear cuttered, huh? What can they get back with that? They can't get the Crusher back, so I guess that's good. Just a Sundering Titan, huh? Nice. Playing a clear cutter and doesn't even have to use it. It must feel pretty good. Alright, so I suppose we have to chump or I die. Nice. Just what I needed. Alright, so it looks like we ended up going 3-3 if they had wisely attacked with everything, as they should, because we're at 5 life. I like it. They even have removal on top of that. Nice. Alright. Alright, I get it, guys. Not supposed to win that game. Got it. Understood. Alright, let's do some pack one, pick ones here. Okay, pack and pick one. I mean, Mishra's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a good... Gives all your stuff ward effects and all your artifact cards unearth. I mean, it's pretty good in this format. I don't see why not, except it's multicolor, but... Other good cards in here. Zephyr Sentinel's excellent, and it's a soldier, and it's cheap, and it's a flash flyer. Yeah, that's actually... Could be the pick over it. This card's pretty incredible. Could see that being better than Mishra, to be honest. And Soldier archetype's just really strong too. Disenchant, lay down arms. I'd probably take the Zephyr Sentinel. Well, I love that Falagi Vanguard. Staff of Domination. This card's kind of cool. If you have enough mana, it can do a lot. Siege Veteran, though, has got to be the pick, right? You know, monocolor just buffs something permanently every turn. Spits out 1/1s. Yeah, that card's awesome. This would be a ridiculous... This pack would be absolutely ridiculous as a like a sealed pool card. Or sealed pool pack, rather. Veteran, Vanguard, and double Vanguard Veteran. That'd be nice. And finally, pack one, pick one. I would take... Let's see. You know, Deadly Repos I was super down on at the beginning of the format when I thought it'd be kind of slow, but it turns out Deadly Repos is actually just really strong because this format is just hyper aggro. It's a hyper aggro format. I think most formats are hyper aggro now, and that's basically just because creatures have gotten ultra efficient. So, you know, it's just not out of the realm of, you know, you basically, there's like 2 mana 4 power uncommons nowadays, you know? So it's just, if you don't have a cheap enough creature now and they have a 2-drop 4 power creature, it's just like the game just steamrolls super quick. So games in Magic have just gotten more efficient as creatures have gotten more efficient, basically. Even though removal's gotten more efficient too. I think it's a bigger deal that creatures have gotten more efficient, because if you don't have an answer for it, they just put games away quicker. All right, well, that will do it. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.